All right, we're gonna start this really good Q&A. Make sure you guys follow them on Instagram. LSOB 1990.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Money Moves, me and you, we're gonna share a mic. We got two. But we're gonna start this Q&A. We curated for Lighter Shade of Brown. We are celebrating and we're kicking off our Hispanic Heritage Month here at Hollywood Park Casino. Latinos, make some noise, come on.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, Brown and Proud, they are celebrating 35 years of the Brown and Proud album. And we So here's my question to both of you. Brown and Proud, to me, to you, it wasn't just an album, it's a statement. When you first put that title out in 1990, did you get any pushback for representing Latino pride so directly in hip-hop?
Ooh, that was a great question right there. Because during that time, CC, first off, what's up, LA? What's cracking, man? Hey, appreciate you. Being introduced to the, to the scene, mainstream hip hop. Because what we did was hip hop. Let me get that straight out the way. We came out, man, 88, 89. We were just trying to work for a demo, just to get our foot in the door. And kick those doors down, because let's face it, man, we got to kick a little harder than Rasa, man. I'm just going to say that one time. And we're still trying to kick that door down and be noticed and recognized. But to answer your question without being long-winded, I was trying to convince people that, yes, Chicanos, we can rap too. You know what I'm saying? We buy the hip-hop, but this is what's going on in my neighborhood. Blacks and Chicanos and a little bit of whites. No, this, it's all love. But yeah, but they're trying to introduce the whole Brown and Proud movement, man. It was like, yo, let's do it. Hey, we could do some. Hey, we like Will Smith. You know, we have a summertime record. It's called Sunday Afternoon.
Yeah.
So we can find us out there at the park all day.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. So how does it feel to still see your music? It's still resonating with the Latino youth, the Latino culture after 35 years. But moments like this, being in front of your fans, being in front of people that really love you, that have held you, you know what I'm saying? How do you reflect on the impact that Lighter Shade of Brown has really had on the culture?
CC, it's amazing. It's surreal that now it's just the flowers. Now the flowers are just greater than ever. I mean, we lost my partner 8 years ago, and I wish that he was here to witness what's going on right now. 35 years. And no, for real, man. It's like I'm just so tongue-tied right now. It's just, man, just the people, the culture who has held us down. I was telling them backstage that if you ever bought a CD or a cassette, that goes a long way. You know, I'm talking to senators now and mayors, and we're going up to the Capitol of Sacramento, man, getting recognition last year for Chicano heritage. And walking the assembly hall there, man, in a hat and jeans, and I was like, man, they ain't gonna dress up. I go, no, this is how I came in. If Easy E could walk in the White House like that, I can show up like this. I said, this is how I came in, and to see all the senators, it's just. Man, it's just warm welcoming, Cece. I can't explain.
And you spoke about Sunday afternoon on a Sunday afternoon. Like, it's crazy how that literally has become the lowrider anthem. Yeah. Really, it has been. I do a lot of lowrider bar shows. I even see people have events and they call them on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we do our own Sunday afternoon, by the way.
Yeah, talk about it.
You know, I was like, we kind of coined the phrase, no diss to grooving on a Sunday afternoon, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure everybody here has bumped up. Art LeBeau, man, I got to give him props for bumping us and keeping us in. Rest in peace to the legendary Art LeBeau. And of course, Huggy Boy, who was on the original Sunday afternoon song. I got to give props to him too, man. It's people like that. You know, we grew up, where my 70s babies at? You born in the 70s. Right now, that's what I always say. You grew up on that good stuff, man. 80s too, even 60s if you're out here, man. 90s too, but I'm saying we grew up on that good music, man. Motown and all that. That's what we implemented into our music. And all we did was we rapped about and talked about what we grew up in our culture, man, in our neighborhoods, and that's what we knew.
You know, back then, nobody was really talking about representation the way that they do now. Do you feel like the Brown and Proud album was a blueprint for like Latinos in hip hop?
Tell them, Moon, what you think growing up?
Hell yeah, man. A lot of shit that Brown and here representing for the gente, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah.
Now, Moon's a little, he a lot younger, you know what I'm saying? Let me formally introduce Money Moons. He's a 90s baby right here, but that's my brother, man. He came on strong when my partner passed away. I needed, obviously, somebody to go on the road with me, TC, and help me breathe, because if you will, I ain't 20 no more, you know what I'm saying? So I need you to catch my breath. But this dude knew every single lyric to every lighter shade of brown song, including Bobby's and mine. I said, bro, I said, you're a blessing, homie, you don't even know it to me. So that's fun.
Yeah, thanks, homie.
Yeah.
Okay, really quick, I'm gonna break this whole this question up, this journalism question that I'm doing, because you know I do cruises with Lighter Shade of Brown. We've done events, so I really want to talk to you, and I want you to hit it first, Money Moons. Tell the audience like crazy story with fans. There has to be a moment where you're like, yo, this is fucking wild what we're doing.
I don't know if he can keep it PG or whatever.
We just had a crazy encounter like 2 weeks ago, but I'm gonna keep that on the low. Man, just the experience in general, just being on stage with the group, man, with Lighter Shade of Brown, with ODM, man. Like, I grew up listening to Sunday Afternoon. I remember being a little kid, my uncle's barbecuing in the backyard. It's just crazy, man. Just hearing the fans sing every single word, that's like a crazy experience for me, you know?
I gave you some memories, man. If you guys remember, Magic Mountain used to throw those concerts, man. Six Flags Magic Mountain, bro, was one of my most memorable moments, CC. We opened up for Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. And let me tell you something, there was 2 shows, right? 7:30 and 9:30. It was all outside in the stands. You saw Mexican flags going hard like that. Marky Mark goes on after the rest of the first show. And you know, he liked to take his shirt off and flex his Calvin Klein and shit, right? And they were throwing pennies and quarters at him, and they booed. I'm like, wow, they're booing Marky Mark. So what did he do? Intermission, he came into our dressing room and said, hey, ODM. I go, what's up, Marky? You came to Mark. He was like, yeah, man. He goes, this is your crowd. I'll open up for you on the next show. So he did. So shout outs to Mark. I mean, that's just how this movement started. I remember rolling with, you know, cassettes and CDs in my backpack on Hollywood Boulevard, cruising over there, man, throwing in every Nissan truck and every lowrider. By the end of the strip, man, they were bumping Brown and Proud, the intro, man, you know what I'm saying? And that to me told me we were onto something. You know, doing the lowrider car shows, the lowrider magazine car show, that catapulted our careers, along with radio, such as, you know what I'm saying, Power 106 and all these other. I want to start making some decisions.
No, it's okay. That's our sister station. We're good.
Okay. But you know, I can't forget about K-Day, because the original mix masters, a few of them had a lot to do with our project. Jammin' James is one of them. DJ Battle Cat.
Yes.
And they need to get their flowers, man. Jammin' James, he was up here earlier. He produced Sunday Afternoon. He produced Latin Active. He produced Homies, 3 of our biggest hits. And that's a black man putting down beats for Raza. That's where Black and Brown Unity came together in 1991. That's a homie that saw a vision. He didn't care. He didn't see no race. He was like, no, man, you put it on for your people. And you're kind of a dope rapper. So he was like, let's put the 2 and 2 together.
And honestly, I want to sit here and I want to give you both your flowers, because even growing up, you know, listening to a lot of Shade of Brown, when I first heard Latin Active, just being a Latina that grew up in hip hop, I felt for the very first time, I felt included. I felt I was represented, and it made me so excited. So with that being said, I want to ask you, ODM, how does it feel to be one of the first to lay that brick foundation for Latinos in hip-hop?
Amazing. You know, we were 16 years old, man. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. I'm just like any of your other little homies that rap. They just want to get in the studio, right, and make a name for themselves. You know, say, I can do this too. Put on for your culture. Put on for your neighborhood. Put on for yourself. And when that happened, we didn't realize what we were doing at the time, because it happened so fast. We had to write an album in less than, 30 days, man. It was like, once TJ Nights came out, TJ Nights. We took them to Tijuana, then we had to drop Latin actor. We took them to the club, Florentine Gardens. We took them to Red Onion over there, homie. We took them to the Hop, like, you know, these old school clubs. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just and when we did Sunday afternoon, we took them to the park, and that was family time. So I think that's why Lighter Shade of Brown resonates with a lot of different heads, because you could put us in a freestyle concert and play with Debbie Deb and Trinier. You could put us with Zapp and Roger, or rest in peace Roger, Zapp in one way with a funk crowd, because that's what our music was about, man. We made sure we sprinkled a little bit of everything on there. And we had dope producers, again, Jammin' James and Battle Cat, who's in attendance to help us out and give us that funk flavor, man. They didn't know what was coming, but like, to piggyback on what you said, people, and I always hear this to this day, they say, man, you made me feel like one of us. And once we found out it was one of us rapping, oh, it was over with, man. And it made me feel proud of who I am. And you know what? Again, for a little kid just coming out, you know what I mean, Southern California, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but it just blossomed, and I'm very grateful. And I thank you guys for that, man, for sure.
Absolutely. You know, hip-hop, we love to talk about legacy. We love to talk about legacy in hip-hop. For you, what does Brown and Proud mean to young Chicanos hearing it today in 2025 for the first time? Because you guys are still selling out arenas, you guys are still touring, and now the people that grew up to your music, they're bringing their kids, and their kids are rapping every single word, and they're bumping it like the first time. What's that feeling? You know what I'm saying? Just seeing that all over again.
First of all, it's job security. Lets us know, you know, what we do is timeless, you know what I'm saying? It's not, we can call it old school. No, but you know what? It's a different climate, as everybody knows, than what we're living into today. You know, being Brown and Proud even 35 years ago was, like I said, we had to break down those doors. We had to be heard. We had to be seen. We got to be on the streets. We had to push, you know, flyers to cassettes and CDs, but also knowing who we are and knowing where we came from. Some of us were born here, some of us born in Mexico, you know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking for all Latinos, you know, Cubanos, Dominicanos, you know what I'm saying? Just everybody, Puerto Ricans, man, you know, they all support us, but it was like, we all brown, whether we darker brown or lighter shade of brown, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta find a purpose and stick with it, and I think ours kind of just resonated through our music, because again, we were young, but we knew what we grew up around. We knew what we were, you know what I'm saying, going up against, and we still are, so.
You know, a lot of Mexican kids, like you said, grew up with your music. It was the soundtrack to a lot of our family parties, to a lot of our cookouts, a lot of our quinceañeras. You know, my sister's engagement, we were bumping Lighter Shade of Brown right there. It was crazy. Ditching parties. We did a lot of ditching parties with Lighter Shade of Brown. That's what, a lot of cruising. Shout out to Whittier Boulevard, Magnolia, and Riverside. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is.
That's when you can ride in the back of a truck and not get a ticket. That's how far we go, man.
But you made a cultural impact that runs so deep today that it is imperative that we are here, that we show you your flowers, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month. We all know what's going on in the city. We know the temperature, it's a little dangerous right now to be brown, you know, but at the end of the day, ODM, Money Moons, I'm wrapping this up, and I don't want to hold you too much longer, but I want you guys to know from the bottom of my heart, and I want to say it in front of all of K-Day Nation, I love you, thank you, my love for Lighter Shade of Brown.
Sing! And you a legend too, girl. You've been Brown and Proud for many years on the radio. Come on, hello.
I really love what you have done for our culture. I really love what you've done for our culture in hip-hop. And, you know, we go way back, because ODM also, too, was on the radio for such a very long time. Let's give it up. He was talking to the city every single day. But what you did was you held us so deep, and you held us so close. And that's why the love will always be there for you, and we will always forever salute Lighter Shade of Brown. Make some
noise! Appreciate you guys.
Hey, can we get a little performance, a little something?
Un poquito song. Let's go.